Hello, this is Mr. Zhang, the visa in Korea. How are you today? Yeah, today's I am so tired, and usually in December that I have to, that I have my lecture to the other licensed person like me, and it's 22 hours, right? So this season is very busy, because I need to prepare for my textbook, and also yesterday until the 3 a.m. I just completed my textbook to the lecture and the other immigration the specialist and at least right from and this November to December, right? So this is a very hard time for me. Even I need to work, right? Make some money and run my own business. But anyway, the I received a mail and a messenger, and one of the foreigners really want to get some information about how to change F2-7 visa to F5 visa, right? F2-7, it is a point-based residence visa, but each name will be changed from December 1st as and what is the outstanding talent, right? Points-based residence visa, right? But I don't know actually, but anyway, the F5 is a permanent residency. There are several types of permanent residency, a lot of foreigners ask me about the I am holding F299 or F2-7 or E7 visa. So which type of visa and the permanent residence visa can I change if I prepare for that? So today I will introduce it for the permanent residency. So you may check that your proper permanent residency visa from your current visa, right? So, but let us just start. Let us just start in the further details. Okay, now first of all, you need to find out the proper your fitable permanent residency F5 visa, right? Today I'd like to introduce four and permanent residence visa type, such as F5-1 general permanent residency, F5-9 the advanced majored and the overseas PhD and the holder, and F510 is a domestic advanced the bachelor degree holders or the master degree holders in Korea. And F516 is just for the F2-7 visa holders, right? But I will explain later then, but there are several the types of things that you need to consider that, because without your effort and your endurance, and F5 and a permanent residency is very you feel very difficult. So, and you may check that what is your proper the permanent residency uh, now based on your current visa type, or if you do something before get F5, and which visa is very suitable for you, and you can choose that. Okay, we can check that what is the requirement for the F5 and the permanent residency. But there are the several types of F5 and you need to prepare for the requirement. But basically, there are four the requirement. But it depends on your F5 application. It will be varied and different, but the common and the requirements are four. The first, income. The second, S period. Third, KIIP. And fourth, employment type. Okay, we can see the more details for the next page. The first of all, I'd like to explain about the four words like income. What is the income, and what is the KIIP, and what is the period, and what is the employment type? The income is based on the last year's, previous year's January 1st to December 31st income. So this year, every year in February, right? If you are a worker at the company, right? And you have to report to 연말정산, like a withholding tax application, regarding to your previous year's income, right? And and you can get the income certificate from the tax office in May, every May for your previous year. And if you just you work more than two and the companies, or if you run your own business, right? And you have to report your comprehensive income in every May for previous years, and you get your income certificate from tax office in every July. Okay, so there is the income means that your income certificate and reflecting on your last year's income. So based on your the employment and the types, or your business owner, etc., and you can and submit income certificate based on employment or comprehensive income. KIIP. I just received the email from the one of the foreigner, right? And she said that I'd like to the change F5 one visa this year, so I don't need any Korean language proficiency certificate, right? And I just replied to her like that. Wow, if you stays, are you staying in Korea over 10 years? She said yes, but I said that, oh, I'm sorry. That kinds of and the requirement, like exemption of your Korean proficiency if you live in Korea over 10 years. This rule has been canceled a long time ago, but she said she got shocked. Okay, there is no any kind of things that there is no any exemption, even if you are living in Korea over 10 years when you apply for the F5-1 anymore, right? So the mostly KIIP is a Korea Immigration and Integration Program and need and the stage 5 completion, right? But as you know that only when you apply for the permanent residency and to prove and the permanent residency, right? Only you can use KIIP certificate, right? But certain types of interview for the marriage migrant and the person, but mostly you need the completion of KIIP stage 5, right? So KIIP, the system has been changed a little bit, and from this September 1st, because the last time, if you want to get and the KIIP stage 5 completion and without without passing your score 60, and if you take 3 times of these classes, and automatically you got complete of your KIP stage 5. But September 1st this year, and there is no automatic the completion, right? If you take 50 hours in class for the KIP stage 5, and you need to take a test, and over 60 points you pass, but if not, you need to take one more time and take a test again. So the second time test, your score is 40 or higher, you can get KIP stage 5 completion. But if you fail the third time, and you can just take a test to get over 40 points. Totally different. You need to know that, okay? So what is the period? And usually it's a period, there is 2 types of period. I can explain that. The first one, this is a actually mandatory period when you apply for the Korean visa to the F5. For example, when you apply for the F5-1 and general and permanent residency visa, right? And these eligible persons are D7, D8, D9, and the E1 to E7 visa, and F2, the F-9 or F-99 or F-7, right? It doesn't matter. So that kind of person can apply for the F5-1 for 5 years past from your visa acquisition date, right? So if you got the E7 1 visa and this November 1st, so 5 years later then, and 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, and the October 31st is 5 years, and after that you can apply for that. You need to wait 5 years, right? This is a period. But second, the meaning of the period is how long have you been working at your company continuously, right? This is for the F5-9 and F5-10, right? So how long? And are you working at this? Have you been working at this company, right? So this is the period. The first one, what is that? Is mandatorily required for the period, like 5 years or something like that. Right. Second, the meaning of a period is how long have you been working at this company? 1 year or 2 year, right? So employment, I just wrote it, the employment itself, but exactly meaning of employment is your employment time. There are, like most of the foreigners, they made a contract, the working contract, and they indicated certain working period, right? So in this case, it doesn't matter about the working contract and the period and your position. The important thing is, are you a regular worker, permanent worker? It's a very difficult to translate in Korean into English. Is the Korean is 정규직, but I just try to find it out logical and the translation and document something. So it's a bit difficult. The regular worker or permanent worker, is that the meaning of 정규직? So important thing is it is not a full-time worker. 정규직 is not a meaning of a full-time worker. The 정규직 is a regular worker or permanent permanent the worker. It is not different from the full-time worker. Okay, and so the how to prove that you are employed as a regular worker or permanent worker is firstly, and you can show the working contract if it indicated on that you are a worker as a permanent worker or regular worker, or certificate of regular worker or permanent worker and then issued by your company. The second one is you have to be enrolled your name on the National Employment Insurance, 국민고용보험, National Insurance, National Employment Insurance. If not, the immigration, it is not regarded as you are a regular worker or permanent worker. Okay, we can talk the further for the each and a permanent residency visa, right? So F5-1, the income and previous year's income is required, and the GNI double. The GNI is the gross national income is last year 2019, and GNI is around the 37.6 or 37.4 million won, around that, right? So it's a double, right? Need a double, so you can calculate. Now that is exactly what I said at January 1st last year, right? January 1st to December 31st in 2019, right? So if you are just your employment itself, and you can in a visit to the tax office and issue an like income certificate for the employment, or if you are working more than two companies and run your own business, right? And you have to report the comprehensive and the income, right? Every May, and you can get this certificate, income certificate for comprehensive income earners, right? And you can submit that. So KIIP, I said that there is no more topic in a score and cannot accept that topic score anymore. So you need a KIIP, Korea Immigration and Integration Program. You have to take a test and the placement test at that time, and then you can find out the level and take a class and um, and if you pass the 60 or second time the lecturing, and after that 40 the point and up, and you can pass. So we need a KIIP. So F5-1 visa need a KIIP stage 5 completion, right? So it is a totally different from, and even if you, how long have you been here in Korea? Like over 10 years, right? Last time, long time ago, no need a KIP or Korean test, but right now, since 2018, the new and the system, new Immigration Act has been changed. So F5-1 application requires for the KIP stage 5 completion. Okay, the period F5-1, it doesn't need a specific you're working and the period, but the important thing is before F5-1 the visa application, you might be and D7, D8, D9, E1 to E7 and F2, especially F2-99 and F2-7, right? So the date of acquisition of your current visa, right, to until now need 5 years exactly. But if you got E7 before and you change it to F5, so you can combine D7, D8, D9, E1 to E7, and F2-99 and F2-7 visas. The whole period you can add. So how long? 5 years and already passed, and you have eligible for the period. And the employment time, it doesn't matter about the employment time for the F5-1 and the regular worker. It doesn't matter if you find the 2 jobs and working for the 2 companies and 3 companies and run your own business with the F2-7. It doesn't matter about your employment time. Get it? The F5-9, but I haven't seen someone introduce the F5-9 visa before. The F5-9 is a very rare visa, right? But if I think some of the persons meet this F5-9, so you need to check that, right? So the F5-9 is the advanced and field the PhD the holder from overseas, right? So you need to get a PhD and advanced technologies, kind of IT, like biotechnology and chemicals and engineering department and that kinds of PhD, right? If you got it, and when you come here, you may be like a E3 or E1 or like E7, you can get this one, right? 1 year later then, right? 1 year later then, and the current visa, right? And you can apply for that. The period need 1 year from current visa to F5-9. So no need KIP completion, no need. So another the visa time and another like F5 the visa doesn't require for the KIP stage 5 completion. F5-9 and which one? F5-15 like domestic the PhD the degree holder. It doesn't matter about the major, but if you graduate the master's, that PhD, PhD, I'm really sorry about that. I'm like tried my throat. So if you got a PhD from Korea, it doesn't matter about your major. When you apply for the F5 or 15 and the KIP is no need. Okay? Okay, so go back to the F5-9. So F5-9, the income, the GNI one-time income. So if you gotta come here in Korea with a PhD and degree holder in the field of advanced technology, right? So you need to wait 1 year because when you need to show the income generate one time. So you need to calculate your status. And the KIP, I said already, no need, and period 1 year, and from the working. So exactly starting from your ARC acquisition date to 1 year. So the employment is the period is means that you have to work at this company for over 1 year continuously. On the manual on High Korea said that you can combine previous in a company's working year in the period, but in actual situation at the immigration office, you need to meet that one. You have to work over 1 year with continuously at your current company. Okay, employment is required for you have to be what regular worker. So how to prove a regular worker and the certificate of regular worker certificate, or just if you are the position, the working the type indicated on your the working contract as a regular worker, permanent worker. It is the first condition. The second condition, you have to register at the national employment insurance more than 1 year, right? Good. So F5-10 and bachelor degree holder in Korea as a in the field of advanced technology, or just a master degree holder in Korea. It doesn't matter about the major. The income, yeah, GNI one time, the previous, right? And then KIIP stage 5 completion. And the period is very important. The period is you need to stay in Korea over 3 years after the date of acquisition of your diploma, the master degree diploma, because of you need to consider that graduation of diploma, the master degree, and acquisition of your master degree date, acquisition date of the master degree is totally different. Okay, exactly I said that acquisition date, right? The from your master degree to the 3 years. So within 3 years, you can work over 1 year at a regular worker, permanent worker, or you can add previously E7 and F2 and then combining. And so after the graduate master is acquisition of your bachelor, the master degree, and from 3 years. And if you work over 1 year, like from your acquisition date of your master degree, and 3 year required, and you have to work over 1 year at the date of F5-10 visa application. So employment, you shall be the regular worker or permanent worker. So F5-16. So but there is the different visa type, and if you got a D7, D8, D9, and E1 to E7 and F2, but there is no any specific visa type, and you can choose anything you wanted. But F5-16 is just for somebody who hold F2-7, and 3 years later, and then you can apply for the F5-16. F5-1 need 5 years, right? But if you apply for that, you don't need 5 years. Just you can prove that you are the staying here is the more than the 3 years from the date acquisition date of F7 visa, right? Oh, my chair got broken. I'm really sorry about that. But suddenly, wow, what is that? It's okay. I'm really sorry about that. But anyway, oh. But anyway, so F5-16 is the income is previous year's income shall be over GNI double. It doesn't matter about your the working at our company or the two companies working, or just your run your own business. It doesn't matter. KIP Yes, it is required in stage 5 completion. I said the F5 15 and 16 is totally different, and F5 15 is a PhD degree holder in Korea. The F5 16 is for the F2-7 visa holders. So you neither at the KIP stage 5 completion, the period 3 years from the date of acquisition of your F2-7. Employment, it doesn't matter about your regular worker or another one. It doesn't matter. But important thing is how to do. How to do. How to do. What is the how to do? The important thing is you need to meet the income as your business owner or your several job seeker. It doesn't matter. Okay. So there are 4 basic important requirement: income, KIP, period, and employment time. So if you cannot understand, please repeat and listen. And I think that you can understand that, right? It's a very, very simple, but it's very detailed. I explained already. If you have any questions and if you want to proceed your F5 and application with us, then you can contact us in visainkorea.com and the contact and the number and the other information on that, or you can visit the facebook.com/visainkorea or just the Visa in Korea 1 and my YouTube channel. There is also a contact number. And so I've finished my lecture, and that I already posted it my sum of. It's kind of like not exactly visa lecture. It's kind of a endurance. So what is the main purpose to get F5? You really want to get an F5, right? Permanent residency is a final, the visa, right? Then I will just ask you, how much is your dream worth? How much is your dream worth? So which kind of effort did you do to get F5? And also, how many effort, did you support to reach your dream? This is a very, very important thing that I explain when I meet my clients. How much is your dream worth? How much time do you spend to get F5 or prepare for F5? Can you get the answer? Without the great effort, it's difficult to get F5. But today I explained about in F2-7 to F5, but I just explained because previous video type before and the F2-7, it might be like a D7, D8, D9, E1 to E7. That's why I explained, and also I introduced for the F5 video type. Oh, it's very hard to explain it all, but anyway, I hope that it will help you. In any questions for that and proceed the permanent residency with us, you can contact Visa in Korea, Mr. Zhang. Okay, thank you very much for listening to my lecture. And this is Mr. Zhang and Visa in Korea. See you next time. Bye bye.